Hey, documents and Dotloop. So exciting, right? Though I know it's probably like the thing that gets in people in the new agents' minds because they're like, I have no idea what to do. And don't worry about it. It's not hard at all. It's just paperwork. And if you're ever unsure, you can always call me and be like, okay, what did you say again? Or since we're recording this, you can also go back and look at it if you're unsure. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And then you're welcome to also go to your Dotloop if you want to while I'm doing this, and we can do this together. Um, Let me share. There's the lovely email we didn't have. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and go to Dotloop and I'm going to log in. And I simply went to dotloop.com and I put in my login credentials. And if you don't have that, be sure to reach out to the office and to Scott Leroy to make sure you have your Dotloop all set up. And then it's also important to make sure that it's red up here and not the blue because so you see how it's black and it's red when I go over here to templates. You want to make sure your account looks like that. That means that you are on the premium account and that's where you need to be. So it could just be a little bit of a hiccup with getting emails and stuff straightened out. So if yours doesn't look like this, let me know and we'll figure out what's going on
Oh,
there.
mine is blue.
Yours is blue?
Hmm.
Very good. Okay, good. So go up here to where your face is or the circle if your picture isn't there yet.
Okay, hold on. Let me make this one smaller so I can see yours. Okay.
Do you have another option there that you can click on?
Okay, so I have my name here.
Okay.
Click on that.
Well, how about I stop sharing and then you share your screen with me? Would that be okay?
Okay,
Okay,
yes.
I'm going to make you a co-host and you should here in a moment. You'll be able to see when you're in Zoom. If you go back to Zoom, you'll see a green glowing button that says share screen and then you can
Mm-hmm.
share your dot loop with me
Yes. Okay.
because you won't be the only one who has this problem. Okay. Yours might be fine. If you click the X there where it says need help at the top upper right hand corner.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and the upper right on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one. Go ahead and close
Okay.
that. Okay. And then are you on an iPad?
No, my
You're on
laptop.
okay, can yours go wider at all?
Yes.
Let's see if we can make it wider. And we could just do work through yours to get started. All right, good. So you have your default profile. I think we're okay. If you click on
Oh,
templates at the top where you see that paper, yeah, if you click on that, it should take you to yes, and see how it's black and red. You're good to
okay.
go.
Okay. So
You're
I
good
guess
to
I was
go.
not in
Very good.
the.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Excellent. So we just clicked on templates. And so templates are documents within Dotloop that are already ready for you to fill in. However, you can't fill them in here. Okay.
Okay.
Um, so go ahead and you see on the left hand side where it says Elevate Docs Fillable. If you click on that where it says Elevate Docs Fillable, this is everything from our office. Every single document that we have that you can use in your transactions. And I would highly recommend when you have time, when you're bored, to just start going through each one, reading them, find out what they're all about. Now, there's a lot of documents there. So what they've done is they've created folders on the left hand side to get you started
Mhm.
quickly. And so you have your conventional purchase folder. So if you click on that folder, those are the documents that you need just for a conventional purchase. If you have an FHA or a VA purchase, those are the documents you would need for that. And then listing. And then those are the documents you would need for a listing. Not all of them. There will be some maybe that don't apply to you, and we'll talk about that. And then you might need to go into the Elevate Docs Fillable to add something that's not in those folders. For example, you have a document that you have to add to yours because it's agent-owned property. So we have to add document there. Okay, so let's go ahead and X out of here. And then the first step in using Dotloop is to create what's called a loop. And that's a weird word that simply means a transaction. So it is a place where we store all of the documents for a specific property. Now, when you're working with a buyer, right, we don't have a property right away. We are working with a person. So the loop should be named the property when it's all said and done. However, until we have that property, we may just be calling it the name of our buyer. So we're going to start though with, we're going to say we have a listing because Mia, you do have a couple of listings. And so we want to get you started on that. And we're going to show everybody else how it's done too as we do this. So what we're going to do is we need to create, since you have 2 listings, you need 2 loops, right? Because there's 2 different addresses. Yep. So we're going to go to where that at the upper right-hand side, there's like a circle and it has a happy face. On the upper right hand. Yep. Those are our loops. So we're going to click there. This is where we're going to store all of your transactions grouped by addresses. So we don't have any yet because we're a brand new agent and we're starting off strong with 2 listings. So that's fantastic. So we're going to create a loop and we're going to click add loop. So this is the simple way to do it. Eventually, as you get into using command and figuring out all the awesome features in there, you're going to combine your Dotloop account with your command accounts, and you'll be starting your loops in command. But for now, we just want to get it up and running, right? So we're going to go ahead and just jump into Dotloop. This is what I recommend if you're a brand new agent. Do it the simple way. And we're going to name our loop the property if we have a property. And since this is a listing, we do have a property. So go ahead and type in one of the addresses for your listings. Fantastic. So we're going to go ahead and import that data.
Okay.
And so we already have it on the MLS. So you see how that MLS number came up for you. Now, say you're just getting started with the seller and you still have photos to do, but you want to get your loop up there. There won't be an MLS number yet. So you'll be using the Google Maps selection. And just be careful if you are selecting an MLS number that it is the correct one, because sometimes there's previous MLS numbers from previous listings. We don't want to connect with those if that's not us. Now, when we're creating the loop on the purchase side, we want to make sure we're selecting the correct MLS listing for our loop. So just double check it, make sure the listing agent is correct on there, and it all looks good. So we can hit continue.
Okay.
Here's where I'm a very visual person. I like to upload photos. We don't have to do that now. You can always come back and do that later, because when you have a whole bunch of loops going on and you're just like, and the addresses are all blurring together, a photo is really helpful in helping you find the loop you want right away. So we'll just hit done for now. You can always go back and create that. So now it's creating the loop, and it is titled the address, which is perfect. We're going to make the type where it says none. Click on that drop down box, and we're going to change it to the type that we're doing, which would be a listing for sale. Very good. And the status right now is that it is actually listed. So it's an active listing. Very good.
Active right here.
Okay, so now we're going to view the loop. We don't have a closing date yet because it's not under contract. So we're going to view the loop, and you'll see that we don't have anything in it yet. It's empty. We haven't put any documents. What I like to do when I'm creating a loop, I like to do the top section, then I like to do the bottom section, and then I come into the middle and I add my documents. By doing the top and the bottom section, you're going to prepare your loop to autofill your documents so you don't have to go in and type everything by hand. So that's why we're going to do it in that order. So everything looks good on the top section. We have it saying listing for sale. We have active listing. We have the address. Everything looks good. If you wanted to add a photo, you could click on view details. That would give you an opportunity to add a photo. We don't need to do that right now. So we're going to go to the bottom section of the page, and this is where our people are. So we want to make sure we have all of our people in here. So scroll down to the bottom. And we are going to, we have you as a listing agent. And you're also going to be the seller. So this is going to be interesting. Do you have another email address that you could use? I don't think we need to. I think we can put you in twice. We'll see what happens. This will be interesting. So we need to add all the people that are involved in this transaction. So when we're doing a listing for sale, we need to add ourselves as a listing agent. We need to add the seller or sellers. So if
Can I add my husband as a
yes,
seller?
yes. So we'll add your husband as a
Maybe
seller.
everything
And even though your name isn't technically on the property because you guys are married, we're going to get your signatures too because of dower rights in Ohio. So that's something to keep in mind if you're doing a listing and you go to the auditor site, you only see one spouse's name on there. You still want both spouses to sign everything. Because they have rights to the property simply by being married. Now, we did talk about this. If your husband, say, had put it in an LLC, that's different. If you're not on the LLC, that would be a different type of situation. Okay. We would still need to take the steps of, you're related to the seller and everything like that. So we need to make sure those are all on the up and up, and we did talk about that. So let's go ahead and add your husband as the seller.
So add person.
Mm-hmm. And then every person that we add has to have a separate email address for signing purposes. Sure. So if he's going to electronically sign something, he has to have his own unique email address. Okay. Now, if it's not somebody who's going to be signing anything and you're just putting their name in there for the sake of having their name in there, then it doesn't matter. Okay. So does he have his own email address?
Yes.
Okay. And you'll notice a box that says add to my team. This, you'll probably never check this box for anybody. So the person on your team would be literally somebody who also represents your client with you. So for example, you may be working with a transaction coordinator. So that transaction coordinator is going to be privy to confidential information, and they'll have to, take care of documents and everything like that. That person would be added to your team so they have full access to the loop. Even your clients are not on your team. We do not want them messing with the documents because they're not trained to do that. The listing agent representing the other client is not on your team. The only people on your team is going to be like an admin person or somebody if you're co-listing with somebody. Those are the only people that would be on your team. So the role for your husband is seller. So we'll click the drop down box where it says role. And we'll assign him as a seller. And let's click add person. Now, I don't think that we can add you twice. Now you're gonna sign a lot of your documents by hand. Let's go ahead and add you as a seller and see what happens.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to let you. Okay, perfect. So you used your other email address, which is great. So you will actually have two profiles now. And I have two profiles too because I sell personal property as well. So I have one profile for me that is I own the property and I'm signing documents, and that's in my personal email address. And then I have my agent, me, which is my KW. Um, so that actually works out great. So you can now go to your personal email and sign documents, and you can also go to your business email. So they are two separate Dotloop accounts in essence that you're going to
Oh,
have. Perfect. So let's go ahead to the top and we're going to add our documents. And I know like you're going to scan a lot of your documents in. I just want to show everybody though how to do it from Dotloop. So we're going to go ahead and click on the templates. And then that brings us to that box. Remember how we went to templates before and it brought us to there, but we couldn't do anything with those documents? Now we're going to actually be able to do something with them because we've created that loop first. So scroll down where it says listing packet. And then what I like to do is I just like to select all, and then I'll figure it out when they're all in there. So you see the button that selects all at the top?
oh yes.
Yes. I love time saving things. So, and then we're going to click copy, and that's going to copy all those documents into your loop. Okay. So, let's start at the top and let's start filling them in. Now, I know you have the paper documents that are already signed because the listing was yesterday. So we'll do that separate. And let's also, you're like, oh, everything looks good, but I need that special document. And for you, that special document is that listing personal property document, right?
Yes.
So sometimes you have unique situations where you need to add something else, or say if you're doing a purchase and you need to add an escalation clause. So what you would do is you click on add document and you go to templates. And do you remember where you found that document before?
Listing package. No, elevate.
Yes,
Box.
very good. And then I would just type in the search property, the word property, because I know that word is in there and I don't want to scroll through all of them. There it is, authorization for personal property. I'm going to check on that one and copy. So if you were doing this one in the loop, I know on this document, I have to have the broker's information in here too, because I'm going to send it to my broker to get that permission. So to do it through Dotloop rather than by hand, we need to add him. So that's another person that needs to be on this loop. We don't need to add him to the team. So let's go ahead and add our broker at the bottom. And you wouldn't normally have to add your broker, but in this situation we do because this is personal property that we're selling.
Person,
so click
right?
add person. Robert Quinn. And I'm going to have to see if I can find his email address for you. I think I know what it is, but just to be on the safe side, I'm going to look it up. It is Robert is his first and last name, RobertQuinn at KW.com. So it's pretty simple. It's QUINN, I think. I think it's an I instead of an E. Yeah, QUINN. And then at kw.com. And then role would be broker. So rest of you out there watching, please don't add Robert to all your loops. He would not like that. This is a special situation where she's selling her own personal property. She needs to have authorization from the broker to do that. So this is a part of the paperwork that I'm just demonstrating to you. Let's see, scroll down to listing agent, listing broker. There you go. Very good. And then add person. Perfect. Okay, so now we have Robert on there because he has to get that paperwork to sign it, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go ahead and scroll up. And I think for the sake of everybody, we've already gone through this document. I would love to open up this authorization for personal property so that everybody's aware on how to do this, even though we've done this already. So we click on it, and what's going to happen is an autofill is going to pop up. And we're going to click on, well, this one didn't because it's not ready for autofill. The next one will. So what you would do on this one, this is just authorization to sell your own property. You would type in your name in the first box. I think you would go with your agent name. So it would be Mia. That's what you're licensed as, right?
Both.
Okay. Okay, then I guess it doesn't matter either way. And then this is an agent-owned sale, so we would check the bottom. We have disclosed in writing. I don't think it actually checked. Now, this is an issue I've had with a lot of them. The boxes are so small that people can't get the thing to check. If the box is too small, you can make it a little bit bigger by clicking. Oh, there it goes. But you can make the boxes a little bit bigger if it doesn't check. So we have disclosed that the seller is licensed real estate agent, and that will also be on the residential property disclosure form. We have provided a home warranty, so check. We have disclosed that you're a real estate agent in the comments. We have disclosed in writing ownership interest in all advertising and marketing. And then advertising included for sale sign. There is no for sale sign, but we'll go ahead and check that box so that if you decide under that where it says disclose in writing, there's another box. Do you see that one?
Yes.
Yeah. So that means anything you put on your website or on social media or Facebook, we're always disclosing seller is a licensed real estate agent in the state of Ohio. A written property inspection report. So even if your buyer wants to waive that inspection, because we are a licensed real estate agent, we're just going to have to get the inspection done for them. So hopefully they don't do that. And then you are not permitted to act in the capacity of a dual agent. So if somebody wants to purchase your property specifically, we'd have to have another agent involved if they didn't have one. And then the compensation structure. You can either take the standard commission and it like a 3%, and it goes to the market center. They take their cut and they send you the rest, or the less expensive way is just to pay $250. The only way it would be beneficial to take the commission is if you're already capped. And if you're trying to bring in profit from a flipped house and turn it into income so you don't have that capital gains, that might be a reason for doing that. For you, your brand new agent, it's way cheaper for you just to do $250.
Yes.
So it didn't automatically assign your initials there. So what you're going to do, you're already hovered, go down and click where it says assign field. And that box popped up. Now there's two. One is for you as an agent, one is for you as a seller. It doesn't really matter which one you pick. There you go. And then you're going to add your signature at the bottom where it says signature, assign it to you there. Good. And since you're logged in as Mia, you can actually sign these right now. So you can do that. Well, let's go ahead and add Rob's signature first. Because sometimes if you make changes to a document, it erases your signatures that you've already done. So we've assigned it to Robert. We've assigned it to you. So hover over where it says Mia sign here. And click sign now. And then adopt and sign. Great. And then where it says initial here. And sign now. Great. Now we have a document that still needs to be signed, right? By Robert. We have his email address in there and everything. So what we're going to do is we're going to save this document and we're going to share it with Robert. So save and share. We can skip that. Okay. And we're going to check Robert Quinn, because Robert needs to sign it. So we're going to check that box where it says, do you see the box next to Robert's name?
Oh, yes.
So we'll check that. You could, under custom message, you could say, "Hi, Robert. Here is the permission to sell personal property." You can say, "I have 2 properties, another one's coming," because you're gonna have to do it for both properties. Now, did it fill in the address anywhere on there? Did I miss that? Let's go back. So I don't want to share this yet because now I'm wondering where the address is. So let's
Okay.
click the X. Did we miss something? Red. That is interesting. I don't see anywhere to put the address. um, am I missing something here? Let's go ahead and just for clarity's sake, let's put the address on here. So how do we do that? There's nowhere to type that in. It's pretty easy. How about next to agent owned sale, we're going to add a text box and we're going to actually type in the address. Do you see at the top where it says add?
Yes. Yeah.
Hover over add and click on text. Add text. And now you're going to move your mouse. Don't click yet. Move your mouse to where you want to put that box. So just click on text and then move your mouse around. There you go. Keep moving it till it's where you want it to be. I would put it up there next to where it says agent owned sale.
Right here?
Yeah.
Or
And then click and drop it right where you want it. Oops. Click the X on that box. I don't know why that came up. Because we're making edits, so guess what it did? It erased your signatures. We're going to have to sign
I
it
saw
again.
that.
That's a safety mechanism. Like, hey, you're going to change this document. Well, guess what? Everybody's signature is going away. So we're going to type in the address here. Now, I don't think we're going to fit the address in that little box. It needs to be bigger. So if I go to the lower right-hand corner where that little triangle is, and then I hover over there until I get a 2-way arrow. So I take my mouse, hover over there till I get a 2-way arrow. There it is, or 1-way arrow. There it is. Click and drag it bigger. There you go. And now we can type in the address.
Is this my address?
This would be the one for this loop, the address for this loop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. By the way, you got some investors out there. You're watching this video. We got some great properties out here listed by Mia. Check them out.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna hit save and, let's go ahead and sign it and then we'll do save and share. So we got to sign both of those. I guess we have to check that box next to it as well. I see a box next to agent compensation structure. Do you see where it says agent compensation structure? We'll just check it.
Okay, so if I check it, they go. Okay.
Okay, so now it's ready for Robert to sign. We have the address, so he's not confused when you send him a second one. Well, he'll know that we've got 2 properties. So let's hit save and share. And then we'll check Robert's name. And then on the right-hand side next to his name, do you see where it says can sign?
Mm-hmm.
So there's several permissions that you can give when you share. You can give the view only sign. You can give the can sign or view only permission. You can give can sign permission, can fill in sign permission, can edit in private. View only would be like if you're sending it to the lender or the title company and they don't have to do anything to to the documents. They're just looking at them. Can sign would be to your clients, or in this case to the broker, so they can have the opportunity to sign. Can fill and sign would be giving them opportunities. Say you're sending disclosures over to your seller, so they can fill out all of that, those questions and everything about the disclosures. They can fill and sign. And then can edit in private would be what you give to other agents so that they can assign signatures and things like that. Robert's another agent, so let's give him edit in private abilities. So your co-broker, if you're sending an offer to a co-broker, the listing agent, you would give them edit in private permission. So agents get edit in private permission. Your clients can sign, or if they need to fill it in something, can fill and sign. All right. Now, another thing you can do if you think they might, if they're just viewing the document at like a lender or title agency and maybe they don't have a Dotloop account, you can click attach PDF to the email at the bottom. And that way they can just, they don't even have to go into Dotloop. They could just look at the PDF. And there's my dog and he's whining.
Oh, such a kitty.
I know, buddy. You hang in there. He wants my attention 24/7. I'm like, oh. All right, so we'll just go ahead and share because I know he has a Dotloop account. Perfect. And like I said, if you wanted to put a note in there, you can, and then click done. All right, so that was a good example because it showed us how we can edit the document and add things to it and assign people's signature. Now, the best way to get back to our loop, it's hard to see it, but on that dark bar, there's an arrow on the left-hand side. That's the best way to go back because that way, if you don't have it saved, it will ask you if you want to save it. So that's the best way to do it. So let's go ahead and open up the exclusive right to sell. This is the document that you already have for this one that you're signing by hand. Most of my listing documents are signed by hand because I'm at a listing appointment and we sign it right there. However, you might do it through Dotloop. So when I clicked on it, you see how this time a box came up and asked if I wanted to autofill. Yes, I want to autofill. Absolutely, because I don't want to type this in for every single document. So we're going to hit OK or something like that at the bottom of the page. It's going to quickly fill in this information. So click on autofill. Great. And then you would go through, fill in the information, the price, you'd fill in, we don't have to do all that now, but you would fill in all the other pertinent information. You would go to the last page, make sure everything is assigned as far as signatures on the last page. It should probably have it all assigned for you. Look at that. It did it all for you. Isn't that nice?
It is.
It is. And so as a listing agent, you would sign it and then you would share it over to your seller so that they could sign too. Now, let's process this for a moment though. If we want them to sign several documents, right? And if we click share on every document, they're going to get separate emails for each document. However, we could share them all at one time so they only get one email, which is better. So we know there's more documents that have to be filled out. So I'm just going to save this. I'm not going to share it yet. I just want to save it. So you can click save. Good. And then we're going to click that red arrow to go back to our documents. And we don't want to share it right now. We don't want to, yeah. There we go. Because we also need to send, so there's the COVID-19, there's your APHW warranty packet, there's, you have disclosures that have to go over. Let's go to the ABA disclosure, Infinity Title. We were talking about that one this morning, and you asked, well, if they don't use Infinity, do we still need the ABA disclosure? Yes. So for every transaction, we do need to have that one signed and acknowledged by our client. So let's go ahead and do the ABA. And it should say autofill. Yes, we want to autofill that one. And so it doesn't put the seller's name in there. You'd have to type that in and put the date in there. We'll do that later. Let's just say we're done with it for now. You can go back in and make all the edits. What I want to show you is how to share several documents at one time. So let's go ahead and save this, and then we'll go ahead and go back to our loop. I apologize for my dog. He just wants to go outside and play.
It's not raining this morning, right?
It is raining, so I don't want him outside and playing. Okay, so say we have the documents ready and we want to send them all over. We want to send over the exclusive right to sell, so we would check that one. We want to send over the COVID-19 addendum. We want to send over the APHW agreements. I know, buddy, you can make it. You'll be fine. We're going to skip over to disclosures right now. And I'll explain that to you later. You'll need to send over the EPA. We could do that later. ABA, you would want to check that one to send over. The consumer guide to agency, if you haven't had that done, of course, consumer guide to agency is to be signed the first time you have a meeting with somebody. So we have everything that we want signed. Of course, we know we're not ready yet to do this, so I won't have you share them yet. I just want to show you what happens. So I want to send these all at one time now. So I would click share. And we're not going to actually share it yet. I just wanted to show you. And now you can see the documents it's going to share. All of those is exclusive right to sell, COVID, listing agreement, APHW. And then it has the two sellers' names already checked because it's like, yeah, you're probably sending it to them because they have been assigned those signature spots. And then you could type in a message, hey, please read over everything carefully. Let me know if you have any questions before signing. And then hit share. But we're not going to do that since yours aren't ready yet. And also for you, you have stuff filled out by hand, right?
Yes.
So like, oh my goodness, but my consumer guide to agency, I had that signed, when I met with them for the first time. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what to do in that case. So go ahead and click X. And if you have documents in here you don't need, so like if you're going to bring in a listing agreement that you signed at a listing appointment, you can get rid of this one simply by archiving it. You can always retrieve it. And the three dots on the right-hand side for each document gives you that opportunity to archive something. So if we don't want that one, we just hit archive and it'll go away when you do that.
Okay.
Yep. And there's some other documents in there that you don't need for this listing and you would just archive them. So like the earnest money transfer addendum to purchase, that doesn't apply to you. So you're going to get rid of that one. Go ahead and archive that so you can see what happens. It's gone. Great. Now we don't have clutter there. I don't like clutter. The listing folder checklist is good for you to look at and make sure you have everything that you need. So let's say we have documents that have been signed with wet signatures, right? So you've got your listing agreement, your consumer guide to agency, all those are already signed. So how do we get them? There are several ways you can do it. And I'm going to have you hop out of here and I'm going to show you a few ways to do that from my screen. So do you see a stop screen share anywhere?
Yes, stop share. There you go.
All right. Good job. Do you feel comfortable like you know what to do next as far as that's concerned?
I hope so.
Okay, because you're going to need, you have two listings, so you're going to create a second loop and
Yes.
do all of this and you'll have to do that authorization form and all that for your second loop. All right. Okay, so if I'm in Dotloop, and let's go ahead and create a loop. And I'll just have this test loop. So you can name it anything. Done. Okay. So we've done templates. We've brought in documents through template. The next way you can do it is through browse. This means it's going to browse your computer for documents. And if you know how to do that on your computer, not everybody knows how to do that. So if you know how to scan documents into your computer and to get them off of your computer, you could do it this way. So I have actually yours somewhere. Here it was. I was just using yours for example, because I already have an investor interested in your properties.
Oh, you do?
I do. So I've already sent them over. So he does want to set up a showing. Um, so
Thank you so much.
it's good news, right?
It is. I'm like, I'm so happy.
So I am going to click on the file that I want, and I'm going to click open, and it's going to upload. And now I have a document in here. You can see it is just the buyer MLS printout of your listing. Very good. Okay, so now I want to do it a different way. Another way I can do it is I could email it to myself. Why would I want to do that? So maybe you don't want all these documents on your computer. You're like, why would I have to have them on Dotloop. That's our office says all of your documents have to be on Dotloop. So why do I need it on my computer? But I just want to skip that whole process. You can go to either our Medina office or our Strongsville office. You even saw one of our agents was there. We were scanning them into the printer. You just go to the printer, hit email, put your documents up there, put your email address in there, and it's going to email the PDF to you. Okay, I would suggest that you do it one document at a time, not one page at a time, but one document. So your listing agreement is separate from your ABA, which is separate from your residential property disclosure. It could be several pages. So I'm going to click on email. I'm going to copy this to the clipboard. And now I have already emailed myself that document here. So I emailed this to myself. We'll pretend like I scanned it in. So here's my email. It has the PDF right here. I am simply going to forward this email to that email address that I copied to the clipboard. And I'm going to click send. Okay, it's going to take a moment. It has to go through all the airwaves to get there. Okay, so we'll keep refreshing until it actually gets there. Oh, it's there already. Look at that. So I didn't have to do anything with my computer. I did it all from the printer, or I just downloaded that from the MLS. But you could just say I scanned it into the copy machines at work to my email address. I went to add document, email, copy to clipboard, forward to that email address, and bam, there you go. Same exact thing. Look at that. Wow. Okay. What if you don't live close to the office? What if you don't have a scanner like I do?
Okay.
What do you do then? Third option to get your documents in is to go to your app store on your phone. And you're going to actually put the Dotloop app on your phone. So I don't know if anybody can see it. I have Dotloop right here. And I'm logging into Dotloop. It's too bright. You guys can't see it. Anyways, it's logging in there, and it says test loop status missing. That's okay. I didn't put a status. So I'm going to go to my loops. I'm clicking on test loop. I'm going to where it says documents at the top, documents. And I want the plus sign because I need to add a document. So there's a little plus sign. So plus, and I'm going to click the first thing that says scan a document. Scan document. And I actually have your MLS printout right here. So I have a little photo thing here. I'm going to go over on top of the document. And I'm going to scan it simply by going click. Okay. And then it shows me what I took a picture of. It's not great. Then I'm going to hit save selection. And I'm going to do the back side because it's 2 pages. So I'm going to do the next page. Okay. And save selection. And then now it has a number 2 next to review. I'm going to hit review 2. And I'm going to be like, you can even edit it. I'm going to upload that one, the first page, to folder. Oh, I gotta give it a name, document name. I'll call it West 58. Save document. It's uploading. Upload complete. And then I'll refresh over here. Let's see how it looks. Okay, there's a third one, a third way to do this.
Okay.
Click on it. Oh, there it is. Not so great, but yay, it's up there, right?
Exactly. Yes.
And there's 2 pages. So there's 3 ways that you can get your documents into Dotloop. All right, so I think that's probably good for today. If you have any more questions as you're getting your second loop put together, let me know. Getting your documents all pulled together, check that listing checklist, make sure you have everything. You feel good? You feel confident?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm a little lost, but I'll get there yet.
Well, yeah, and half the
Yeah. I
battle
need
is
to
just
practice. Yeah.
is yeah, practice and doing it, and then if you get stuck, you call me and we'll work it out. Okay?
Yes.
All right. Well, call me if you need me, okay? All
Okay, I
right.
will. Thank
All
you.
right. We'll talk to you later, Mia. Bye.
Okay. Bye bye.